Hello everybody and welcome back to SheffPlays Zombie Critique. And in today's video we are talking about Attack of the Radioactive Thing. Look at that. And this is definitely a solid map. Excuse me, oh my lente. But we're going to be talking about the pros, cons, rating, review, recommendation, and call it a video. So for pros, it definitely has that movie feel that these are all supposed to have. They all kind of have it in one way or another, but I don't know. This one feels the most movie. Even kind of more so, or not more so, I guess equal to Raven the Redwoods. It's pretty cool. But when it's like movie, it's like low budget. Like think, or maybe not low budget, but older. Like think Little Shop of Horrors, something like that. And it weirdly works, like the map layout. It doesn't feel as relative, like, to itself, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't flow with an even look, like you would say, like Raven the Redwoods, or even like Kino, like tying in other games. It feels like a whole bunch of maps into one, kind of like Revelations, but not as, like, fluid. But it works. I don't know how to word it. It's something that, like, you kind of have to experience to understand what I'm saying. Next up, the pack and double pack are fairly easy. Like, and you can do them on a pretty decently low round as long as you know what you're doing. It's not too tough. I think it's one of the easier pack-a-punches to do, and especially one of the easier double packs to do. And, you know, following that, the pack-a-punch camos. I like both of them. There's some maps where I only like one, or like, you know, they're kind of okay. But I think both of the pack camos in this one are fairly solid. And they kind of both go with the theme very well. Like the initial one just looks like radioactive goo, and the double pack camo is balloons. Which, creepy, but also like, there's balloons in this map. Deal with it. Next is Elvira. Bro. Elvira is the guest celebrity, and, you know, she's dope. She definitely, like, you know, she's Elvira. What can I say? Like, she kind of just sits there and she's like, hey, go do this thing for me. And you're kind of like, without question, yeah, I'll do that. And then she's like, oh, by the way, do this other thing for me. And you're like, okay. And she's like, now I'm going to do something for you. And then she gets up with a submachine gun, helps you fight for a while, and then opens up the pack-a-punch. And if you fill up the little vials she gives you and go back and talk to her again, she'll get up again and fight with you. She's the easiest of all the celebrity guests to have jump up and join you in the fight. Which, by the way, she has the E-Rad, which is one of the submachine guns. And it's one of the weaker submachine guns. And pretty much no matter what round you bring her in on, she's slaying with it. Like, that thing is infinitely stronger than any gun you will get. And it's bogus. But next is the characters that you play as. They are also really cool. Andre is an army dude. Poindexter is a nerd. Or, well, a scientist. He's a scientist. Scientists aren't nerds. Let me just say that right now. I was a goof. And I'm leaving it in because it made me laugh. You know what? A nerd isn't even a bad thing. I'm a nerd. I have a whole channel based on gaming. I don't know why I'm defending this so heavy. Anyway, training spots are decent. There's the one I'm in now. There's one above me that's like on a bridge. There's a campground one, kind of. That's okay, as long as you know the layout and like the obstacles in the way. And then there's like the parking lot. And they're all fairly solid. There's also like a playground that's pretty easy to get around. Yeah. And next is the hound rounds. They're that green thing right there. A ton of those spawn in, and they're pretty easy to take out. They're really actually kind of a pain in the butt at first, but it seems their health consistently stays at the same. So like, as you level up your guns, there's pretty much, with the ARK-150, I think it's called, you'll be taking them out. If it's even singular pack-a-punched, I had that at like round 20, I think, and it was like 3 bullets and they were down. Now for the cons of this map. Moving Pack-a-Punch. I don't like that. It's not even difficult. Like, you look up in the sky and see lightning, you can actually see it right there in the corner of the screen. And it just, I don't know. It seems unnecessary. It adds a step whenever you're ready to Pack-a-Punch. I Pack-a-Punched 6 times this game, so it was kind of annoying. And lastly is the Radioactivity, which is, I mean, it's not like a huge harumph in the map. That's more of one of my nitpicky things. But in the spots it is, it messes you up. And it's kind of just here and there. Like, there's puddles of it. There's certain areas in the map that, like, your screen will kind of shake a little bit, and it'll be like, you'll hear like the little radioactive reader scanner thing noise, and yeah, it'll drain your health. So overall, this map is I'm gonna rate it an 8.5. It's pretty solid. I really enjoy this one. I think my favorite in this game is definitely a tie between this and Raven the Redwoods. I don't know why, but I really enjoy this map, and I remember when it came out, I put a decent amount of time into it. Same as Rave. I didn't really do that with Shaolin Shuffle or Beast from Beyond. Little tidbit before we do that map, which that'll be tomorrow's video. When Beast from Beyond came out, it was so difficult. It is super difficult in the beginning if you don't have a strategy, and like a solid one at that, because spoiler alert, instead of zombies, it starts out with the scouts from Ghost Extinction, and dude, they have a ridiculous amount of health compared to what they used to. You used to be able to take out a scout with like 3 shots from a pistol, but now it takes like 10 to 15 shots from the gun that I'm using right now to take them out. And they spawn infinitely until you turn on the power. And I can usually do it by the end of round 3. But sometimes I can't. And those times that I can't really goof me over in the long run. But once you get to zombies, it's not a terrible map. But, you know, we'll talk about that when we get to that one. So, yeah. I definitely recommend this one. I think this one's a lot of fun. It's cool looking. The color scheme is really nice. It flows pretty well. And, like I said, upgrading is super easy. And it's a pretty easy map to get your base set fairly early and then just survive. And, yeah. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're having a good day. If you're watching early on, have a good rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep surviving. And, see ya.